We welcome you, Eagles everywhere, to our weekly one-on-one with head coach Doug Pederson, presented by Wawa and Eagles Insider Dave Spadaro. And Doug, 1-3-1 is obviously not where you want to be, but do you feel like the team is moving in the right direction?
I do feel like the team is moving in the right direction, and we took some steps forward, Sunday, even though we lost the game. I look back. I look back on this last month of football, right? These last 5 games and everything. It's a lot of self-inflicted, mistakes and things that you go all the way back to the Washington game where, the turnovers, the sacks, couldn't get off the field defensively in the second half. Then you go to the Rams game, and it was a little bit of execution. But Rams are obviously a good football team, and you're going to have to keep up with scoring, and we just didn't execute enough in that game. And then, of course, the Bengals game had opportunities there. We failed to execute there. And then great win, San Francisco on the road, tough place to play, East Coast, West Coast, and played good. We won the turnover ratio that day, and we scored on defense, which is all part of the process. And then yesterday this past Sunday, same types of thing. I mean, when you have 9 penalties in the football game and 8 of them obviously on the defensive side, which created 5 additional first downs for the opponent, you can't get off the field on third down. Red zone, I believe they were 100% in the red. I mean, those are the situational aspects. We spend a lot of time talking and practicing situational football, and we're going to have to spend more time, and we're going to have to talk more about third down and red zone and situational football, and win the turnover battle, and that's what's happening. Guys are playing hard. Guys are, busting their tail out there. We are playing with some young guys on offense, obviously, but it's all been sort of self-inflicted these first 5 games.
On defense, how do you get it to the level where you can be on a consistent basis?
Defensively, I think, because we do have some veteran players over there, and for the most part, these guys are sort of battle tested. They've been in some big games. They just have to continue to play and just keep. One thing that we've got to do better at, and I got to continue to strive with the football team, is we got to be a smarter football team, a little more disciplined football team, and that starts in practice during the week. It just doesn't. It's just not lip service, and then we just go show up and do it on game day, right? You got to do it in practice, and if we're making those small little mistakes in practice, well, then they're going to show up in the game, and that's what's happening. So it starts with our preparation. I talk to the guys on how they prepare during the week, and are they doing enough during the week, and it's all part of the coaches doing enough, right, to prepare the players. So everybody has a hand in everything, and we're on the right track. We showed improvement. We're moving in the right direction, and I know one day everything's going to flip and be in our favor.
So in practice now, when you see mistakes, do you blow the whistle and say run it again? Do you already do that? I mean,
we do that anyway. That's something that we constantly. It's all about positive reinforcement, right? And even if say an offensive lineman made the wrong block. One of the things I like to do is just kind of stop the drill. Let's reload the play, even if they have to walk through it, right? Step through it. I just want him to have positive reinforcement, like, okay, this is how it's done, right? So the last thing he did was something positive, and that's the same way with, somebody that jumps off sides, or if there's a defensive penalty in the secondary, or a false start, or whatever it might be, being able to kind of stop that right there, coach it up, detail it up, and then that way, hopefully, it doesn't take over on game day.
Sunday, it's such an unusual challenge. Lamar Jackson presents many difficulties, and it's kind of the first time you've seen that kind of quarterback. So how do you approach it defensively? What challenges does Baltimore bring to the table?
Well, obviously, you got to stop their run game. That's the biggest thing offensively, and they're dynamic with what they do. He's obviously electric. He makes the first, second, sometimes the third guy miss. It's going to take a full team effort, 11 bodies, flying to the football. And just, the teams that have had success against them are the ones that have been able to sort of nullify their run game and try to keep, keep a great athlete like Lamar sort of at check, and that's obviously, hard to do. But it's going to take all 11 guys on defense again flying to the football, for that to happen.
Doug, it's been exciting to see Travis Fulgham the last couple of weeks. So I guess I'll ask the question that every Eagles fan wants you to answer the right way: is he the real deal?
I think he is. I mean, again, this is a guy that's, he's played in games before, and not just our games, but in Detroit, and so he's a veteran. He's young, but he's a veteran type player. He understands. He works extremely hard. At practice, he's one of those guys when you talk about preparation and hard work. He's putting in the time. It's not perfect. There are some things that we can continue to coach with him, and some of the detailed things with him as he continues to learn, the offense. But, we try to just put him in a position to let his talent shine. Carson's getting more comfortable with him each week, and it's positive and good to see, and it's something we can build on.
There's an upside here with Travis. I mean, measurably, the way he runs, how physical he is, there's something here.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big physical. He's in that same sort of Alshon Jeffrey mold, right? Where you got those big, tall, lengthy guys that are physical, got great, strong hands, just like Alshon has. And he's, he loves to play physical. When you watch him run block, he's run blocking DBs 5, 10, 15 yards down the field, and he doesn't shy away from that. And he's got great speed, good length. He can separate. He can get behind defenders, as we saw in San Francisco, and then the contested catch. You saw, Sunday, balls that were thrown in his area, right, might be up high or behind him a touch or wherever, but he's able to, make those contested catches because of his length, his body size, his physicality, and that's really really good to see.
If I may go on about Travis for a moment here, he has played in the league, but he's never played like he played on Sunday in the league. It's like he's come from nowhere. I mean, you've seen this happen over the course of your time in the NFL. How does this happen?
Yeah, it's sometimes with younger players too. There's not a lot of tape out there, right? So there's not a lot to go off of, and you're just kind of scheming. You're just kind of scheming the offense. So I think as we go, we've got to be careful, obviously, to make sure that we put him in position to be successful. But at the same time, right now we just want to make sure that he's playing fast. He's playing kind of freed up in his mind, to make the plays he's been making.
When the kid he walked on at Old Dominion, Doug. This is an incredible story. And then you couple him with Quez and with Hightower, and when Rager comes back, and then you've got Alshon and Deshaun. This is a group that is an interesting mix. How will you approach this group moving forward?
I'm really hoping that here in the next couple of weeks we finally have the guys that we thought we were going into the season with, right? And that's been probably, the one thing that's been kind of, I don't want to say disappointing, because injuries obviously happen in this league, but we haven't had all those guys. We haven't had Alshon out there yet. Deshaun's only had a couple of games. Rager's missed quite a bit of time now. So being able to get all these guys, and then you mix in Travis and G Ward and Quez had an opportunity Sunday to play a little bit, and JJ. I mean, it's a group that can be dynamic. I really do believe they can be dynamic. I think Carson has a comfort level with all of those guys. We have to continue to build and grow, and as we game plan, we'll continue to make decisions that are best for the football team and the best for the offense, to get ready for Sunday.
As we speak, we don't know about Lane Johnson. I'm keeping my fingers crossed here that he's going to be able to play on Sunday and moving forward. So how do you feel about the O-line based on a few games now that you've seen this group together?
We went into Sunday's game with the starting five the second week in a row.
For the first time.
First time. And we don't know about Lane Johnson. We're going to be optimistic there, but waiting on some results there, and hopefully that comes back positive. But hey, listen, if not, Jack Driscoll's he's been the guy that's been out there the most, right, playing that right tackle spot for Lane, and has done well. Mulata has stepped in over there for JP, and he's done well. And sometimes these young players are just eager to get out on the football field, and they want to be coached and want to be shown how to do things. And you know, if Lane is not there, then you know we're missing 4 out of our 5 starters, right? And that's hard to overcome. But one of the things that I know and what I see is those guys they're going to battle. They're going to compete, and they're going to fight, and they're going to scratch, and they're going to do everything they can to protect the quarterback, to help the run game, and do what's right and best for the team. So I'm excited for the young guys. You know, it's a great opportunity for them. And, you know, another good test this week with Baltimore.
Doug, do you feel the NFC East is still there for the taking?
It is. It is. Listen, you know, it's not perfect right now. It's, you know, I just got to focus on us, the Philadelphia Eagles, and get ready for this week. And you know, we just got to find a way to win games and you know, prepare, you know, each week the same and you know, go play.
Final one, Doug. Baltimore, 18 straight games with a takeaway. That's longest in the NFL. What do they do so well with that defense?
They pressure the quarterback. I mean, they put a lot of pressure on. They zero blitz you, which is all out blitz. In the game, you know, the other day against Cincinnati, I mean, you know, they forced the quarterback to throw the ball up, and they got some turnovers there. And, you know, it's just something that as we take a look at the tape this week and put the game plan together, we'll be, you know, prepared for that. It's an aggressive style on defense, much like Pittsburgh was, you know. So it's going to take a really good effort this week in practice to prepare for all that, and then play on Sunday.
Home sweet home on Sunday at Lincoln Financial Field. Doug Pederson, thanks so much. Our weekly one-on-one presented by Wawa.